The train lurched as it slowed, metal screaming softly against metal, and Anna gripped the strap of her worn leather suitcase. Outside the window, the world blurred into a wash of gray sky and unfamiliar rooftops. She had been counting stops carefully, whispering the names under her breath the way she used to recite prayers as a girl, but the conductor's accent had swallowed the words, and the station signs rushed past too quickly for her eyes to catch. When the doors opened, a gust of cold air cut through her coat. People surged forward, boots thudding, voices rising. Anna hesitated, heart hammering, then followed them out. She told herself it must be right. It had to be right. The letter said he would be waiting, tall, with kind eyes, holding a red scarf so she would recognize him. The platform emptied faster than she expected. The train exhaled and pulled away, leaving behind silence broken only by wind and a distant dog barking. Anna stood alone, the strap biting into her palm, scanning faces that were already gone. There was no red scarf. She checked the station sign, the letters unfamiliar, harsher than the town names she had practiced saying in the mirror for weeks. Her stomach dropped. She walked to the edge of the platform, looking both ways as if the train might come back just for her, apologize, and take her to the right place. It didn't. Anna sat on the bench and pressed her gloved hands to her face. She had crossed an ocean with a single suitcase and a photograph folded so many times it was soft as cloth. She had told herself she was brave. She had told her mother she would be safe. Now she was nowhere she recognized, in a country that still felt like a mouthful of sharp consonants, and the man who was supposed to be her husband was not there. She swallowed hard and forced herself to breathe. Panic would not help. She stood again, lifted her suitcase, and walked toward the station exit. The town was small, the kind that looked as if it had been built by people who expected to stay forever. Wooden houses huddled together, smoke curling from chimneys. The air smelled like pine and something sweet baking. Anna followed the main road, her boots sinking slightly into slush. Every few steps she stopped, hoping to see the red scarf appear like a miracle. She didn't. By the time she reached the square, her arms ached and tears burned behind her eyes. She set the suitcase down and leaned against it, staring at the stone fountain in the center. A few people passed, glancing at her with polite curiosity, but no one stopped. "Excuse me," she said finally, her accent thick, to a woman carrying groceries. "Do you speak English?" The woman shook her head apologetically and walked on. Anna sank onto the suitcase and let one tear slip free. She wiped it away quickly, embarrassed by her own weakness. She had chosen this. She had answered the advertisement because the words had sounded like hope. Widower. Farmer. Seeking companion, not servant. Letters had followed, careful and sincere. He had written about his daughter, about the quiet beauty of the land, about wanting a family again. Anna had written back about her own losses, about wanting to belong somewhere. She pulled the photograph from her pocket and smoothed it with her thumb. His face was kind, yes, but photographs could lie. Still, it had been enough. A small voice broke through her thoughts. "Are you lost?" Anna looked up. A little girl stood a few feet away, her dark hair braided, cheeks flushed pink from the cold. She couldn't have been more than 6. She wore a coat too big for her, sleeves rolled up. "I think so," Anna said softly. The girl tilted her head, studying her with serious eyes. "You look sad." Anna managed a smile. "I am a little." The girl nodded, as if this confirmed something important. She took a step closer. "Papa helps sad people." Before Anna could respond, the girl turned and ran across the square, boots splashing. Anna opened her mouth to call after her, but the words caught. She watched as the girl disappeared behind a row of houses. Minutes passed. Anna considered picking up her suitcase and trying again to find someone who spoke English. Then she heard footsteps, heavier this time. The man who emerged into the square stopped short when he saw her. He was taller than she expected, shoulders broad beneath his coat. His hair was dark, threaded with gray, and his face was lined in a way that spoke of weather and work. His eyes, when they met hers, were startlingly gentle. The little girl skidded to a stop beside him and pointed at Anna. "Papa," she said, breathless, "God finally answered us." The words hit Anna like a physical thing. She stood, heart pounding, unsure whether to laugh or cry or apologize. "I'm sorry," she said quickly. "I didn't mean to." The man raised a hand, not unkindly. "It's all right," he said in careful English. His accent was thick but understandable. He looked from his daughter to Anna and back again, confusion and something else flickering across his face. She prays loudly. The girl nodded solemnly. Every night. Anna's throat tightened. I got off the wrong train station, she said. I was supposed to meet someone. I think I'm very far from where I should be. The man hesitated, then gestured toward the bench. Come, sit. It's cold. She obeyed, grateful. The girl climbed up beside her without invitation and leaned against her arm as if they had known each other forever. Anna froze, then relaxed, warmth spreading through her chest. My name is Lucas, the man said. This is Marta. I'm Anna. He nodded. Where were you going, Anna? She told him the town name. His eyebrows rose. That is 2 stops past here. The train does not come back until morning. The words settled heavily. Anna felt the square tilt. I don't know what to do. Lucas was silent for a moment. Marta swung her legs, humming. Finally he said, you can stay with us tonight. We have a spare room. Tomorrow, I will take you. Anna looked at him, searching his face for something dangerous. She found only sincerity and a cautious kindness. I don't want to be trouble. Marta looked up at her, indignant. You are an answer. Lucas sighed, a sound that held both weariness and amusement. She has been praying for a mother. The word sent a sharp ache through Anna. She swallowed. I'm not. I know, Lucas said gently. But you are welcome. The house was warm and smelled of soup. Anna sat at the table while Lucas ladled broth into bowls. Marta chattered about school and her cat and how Papa forgot to buy sugar sometimes. Anna listened, nodding, her heart slowly unclenching. After dinner, Lucas showed her the spare room. The bed was narrow but clean, the quilt neatly folded. Sleep, he said. We will talk in the morning. Anna lay awake long after the house fell quiet. She stared at the ceiling, listening to the wind outside. She thought of the man with the red scarf, waiting at the wrong station, and felt a strange mix of guilt and relief. She thought of Marta's small hand in hers as they crossed the kitchen, the way it had fit so naturally. In the morning, snow fell softly, covering the world in white. Anna dressed and stepped into the kitchen to find Marta already awake, drawing at the table. Good morning, Anna said. Marta beamed. Papa is feeding the animals. He said you can come if you want. Anna pulled on her coat and followed the girl outside. The farm spread out before her, fields sleeping under snow, a barn sturdy and red against the white. Lucas was tossing hay to the cows. His breath clouding the air. He smiled when he saw her. Did you sleep? Yes. Thank you. They worked in companionable silence. Anna's fingers grew numb, but she didn't mind. There was something grounding in the rhythm of it, in being useful. Afterward, Lucas poured them coffee. He cleared his throat. About today. I will drive you to the station. Anna nodded. The words she had rehearsed all night crowded her mouth. I want to thank you. For everything. He met her gaze. You do not owe us. She hesitated. May I ask, your wife? His jaw tightened briefly. She died 4 years ago. Illness. I'm sorry. He nodded. Marta remembers little. She remembers prayers. Anna looked at the girl, bent over her drawing, tongue caught between her teeth in concentration. She believes very strongly. Yes, Lucas said softly. I have not told her to stop. They drove in silence, the road winding through trees heavy with snow. As the station came into view, Anna's chest constricted. She imagined the man she was supposed to meet, imagined explaining everything. She imagined a life that was already planned. Lucas parked. He turned to her. I hope you find what you were looking for. Anna swallowed. I don't know anymore. He nodded, understanding more than she had said. If things do not work out, you can write. She smiled sadly. Thank you. She stepped out of the car, suitcase in hand. The cold bit at her cheeks. She turned back once. Marta had pressed her face to the window, waving furiously. The train arrived. Anna climbed aboard. As it pulled away, she watched the small car grow smaller, then disappear. The town she reached was larger, louder. The man with the red scarf was there, just as promised. He smiled broadly when he saw her, took her suitcase, spoke quickly about plans and expectations. Anna listened, answered politely, but something inside her remained quiet, as if waiting. Days passed. She tried to fit into the life that had been arranged. The man was not unkind, but he was rigid, his affection conditional. He spoke of children as obligations, of marriage as structure. Anna felt herself shrinking, becoming a version of herself she did not recognize. One evening, as she folded laundry, she found herself crying without knowing when it had started. She thought of snow-covered fields and a little girl's earnest eyes. She thought of prayers whispered into the dark. The next morning, Anna packed her suitcase again. The journey back felt both terrifying and inevitable. When she arrived at the small station, the square was empty. Snow had melted into mud. She walked to the farm on trembling legs. Lucas was in the yard, repairing a fence. He looked up, startled, then hopeful, then carefully neutral. "Anna, I'm sorry," she said, breathless. "I know this is unexpected. I didn't know where else to go." Marta burst out of the house and ran to her, wrapping her arms around Anna's legs. "You came back," she said into Anna's coat. Anna knelt and held her, tears spilling freely now. "I did." Lucas stood watching, emotion flickering across his face. Finally he said, "Come inside." They talked late into the night. Anna told him the truth, about the man, about her fear of settling for safety without love. Lucas listened, his hands folded, his eyes steady. "I cannot promise you an easy life," he said finally. "But I can promise honesty." Anna nodded. "That's all I want." Spring came slowly. Anna stayed. She learned the rhythms of the farm, the quiet joy of shared work. She and Lucas spoke often, sometimes about the past, sometimes about nothing at all. Marta watched them with solemn satisfaction. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sun dip low, Marta climbed into Anna's lap. "I knew," she said matter-of-factly. "Knew what?" Anna asked. "That God listens." Anna kissed the top of her head. She looked at Lucas, who met her gaze, something unspoken passing between them. The road that had brought her here had been crooked and frightening, but it had led her to a place where her heart could finally rest. The train had stopped at the wrong station. Or perhaps, Anna thought, as she watched the first stars appear, it had stopped exactly where it was meant to.